The Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council has named the former managing director of the news agency of Nigeria, Akin Osuntokun, as its new director general. And this follows the resignation of its former director general of the campaign organization, Doyo Okupe, who resigned after he was convicted over money laundering charges. The spokesperson of Labour Party campaign organization, Diron Nifade, in a statement described Akin Osuntokun as a strategist. Mr. Osuntokun was a political advisor to former President Olusegun Obasanjo and director of the presidential campaign of the People's Democratic Party that was in 2011. Joining us now to speak more on this development is a member of the media team of Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council, Olu Martins. Mr. Martins, I recall the last time you spoke to TVC News, you advised that Doyo Okupe resign after he was convicted. Are you satisfied with this replacement?
Good evening, Nifemi and the TVC crew and Nigeria. Compliments of the season. We are thoroughly satisfied. Mr. Akin Osuntokun is a thoroughbred, he's a professional, he's a gentleman of the finest breed, fantastic family history, fantastic education, and we are cocksure that it's a round peg in a round hole, and he will do an excellent job of coordinating the affairs of the Labour Party Campaign Council. No doubt that we will miss Dr. Doyo Okupe, but I'm sure that he is well replaced by the very capable hands of Akin Osuntokun. So yes, we are very satisfied with his appointment.
How much damage are you willing to acknowledge of the resignation of the former DG, who indeed has violated the Money Laundering Act?
If I tell anything, there isn't any damage. It is the noble thing to do. Fortunately, we're not one of the people who hang on in the face of obvious indictment or guilt, so to speak. This is what is obtainable all over the world. If you think that by virtue of the hangman's noose over your neck, you do not have the moral competence or the moral justification to continue to coordinate a campaign council that touts itself as different, as doing things differently, the obvious thing to do is to throw in the towel and resign. That's what is done in other crimes. It's not even whether you are guilty, it's that even if you are perceived to be guilty, because you must come to equity with clean hands, and then because that's what Peter Obi has stood for, his resignation is even a plus to us. It demonstrates that we're indeed willing to do things differently. Other people or other parties will have hung on and will have been trying to defend his culpability otherwise. PDP is in the dregs for that matter, the back and forth going on. So, but for us, we have done the right thing. Indeed. He has resigned. We have found his replacement, and we are moving on. So
Dr. Okupe has now added to the growing list of Nigerian politicians who have resigned. We've had Bath Naji, there is Kemi Adeosun, former Minister of Finance, and I think 2 or 3 other people on that list. But are you privy to the reasons for this new choice? Is it about the zone where it comes from, or something more than what we know right now?
Akin Osuntokun had been the Southwest coordinator of the Labour Party, and if you had followed his recent political trajectory, you will find out that you may discover that he's been one of the front runners of the emergence of the third force. So given, so to speak, his clear departure or dissatisfaction with status quo, with how things have been done in Nigeria, and his desire for a new Nigeria, which has seen him hobnobbing with the likes of Professor Pat Utomi and many others who think that the APC and the PDP have not satisfied us. If you look at his writings in recent times, clearly it is his brilliance that has singled him out as a person, to continue to coordinate the affairs of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. Naturally, because of our ethnic diversity, we have also found rest in the fact that he's from the Southwest. So why not continue with him being
Let me jump in very quickly, Mr. Martins, because of our time.
Ogun State, and he is from Ekiti State.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The criticism again from opposition is that this is still same of the same. Former aide to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, probably former PDP member. Why not someone outside the establishment, since that's what Peter Obi seems to represent?
If you are a student of revolution, you will find that those who have even caused revolutions are those who have been part of the same, who have been dissatisfied with how things have run. Take, for instance, even though this is Yuletide, and I do not intend to be religious, but take, for instance, Moses. Moses was born in Pharaoh's palace, but when he saw that he preferred a new paradigm shift, he left Pharaoh's palace and went to meet with his people. The same thing too, Dr. Martin Luther King says. He says, I've been to the mountaintop, but I must return to the valley to identify with my people. So you will see people who know how things have been run and who see the rot in the system and decide that, you know what, we need to change that status quo for the sake of a guaranteed future. I think they're in the best hand because they've been there. Now they're out of the place. So they are best judges to know whether Nigeria is working under the leadership that it has been currently under. So if you have decided to now say, look, we need to change things, I think it's best qualified to do so. Moreover, as students of revolution, you will find out that those who sponsor revolutions are the clear-headed, so to speak, political bourgeoisies or political advantage people who understand that except we preserve an honest breed without greed, we all may be swallowed up by this,
a remnant of the old, you mean, Mr. Martins. I like the fact that you've referenced the scripture there, and I won't be surprised if other parties also told the same.
The fundamental thing is that the ideology tallies with what we stand for.
I get you, Mr. Martins. That's our time.
We want a new Nigeria, and it's part of the new Nigeria. Thank you for having me.
Olu Martins is a member of the media team of Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you for talking to us on the news at 7.
Thank you for having me.